Any more questions on the sign issue? Yeah, after we got elected and we started, we knew, or I kind of sensed, given the history of Satellite Beach, that our time was limited to get some stuff done that we needed to get done. We needed to demonstrate to the citizens of Satellite Beach that we could run government efficiently, or that government could be run more efficiently, I should say. That you could do more with the same amount of money that you have by spending it smartly. We needed, I felt, to demonstrate that very rapidly. So right out of the chute, we put together this Citizens Advisory Panel for Efficient Government. And the day that I knew that we had done the right thing was the first meeting when all of the good old boys showed up, the police union guys showed up, and they were vehemently opposed to this KPEG effort. That to me said, ding, we're onto something. And then when it really dawned on me that we were onto something is when we appointed Lloyd French as the chairman. And we'd done a vetting. We had gone out and asked for all of the citizens. We'd asked for resumes and applications to come in for those folks who wanted to help out on the panel. And boy, the pushback was just amazing from that group of citizens and from the union and from many employees actually. So anyway, fast forward, we gave them a 90-day time cycle, which doesn't sound like a lot of time, but again, we were up against the budget for the coming year, and we wanted at least some low-hanging fruit that we could pick from an efficiency perspective to integrate into the new budget so that we could demonstrate, even if just a little bit, we could demonstrate that, hey, we're onto something here, folks, and we need to continue this effort. We knew that there were going to be more difficult items. I like to call the third rail items, you know, when you touch the third rail and you get the smoke. There are going to be some more difficult items to handle in the future, but if we could demonstrate to the citizens that we could in fact do things more efficiently, we needed to do that. So we gave them a 90-day time limit because our budget process starts in the May timeframe. And they came through like gangbusters. Hundreds of hours were spent with the folks in the KPEG, working directly with it wasn't as if we cut the employees out of the pattern. In fact, they became integral parts of this effort. And they spent a lot of time with department heads, with the city manager, especially the new city manager, and got some things done. And they laid out a list of those things we could do now, those things that had more of a medium time effort, and then long-term efforts. So we ended up taking, in this budget cycle, all of those most of those near-term efforts, which resulted in a 7% decrease to the city operating budget, no impact to services, not even having to let anybody go. That was a big issue that the employees were worried about. We worked FTE savings, manpower savings in via attrition. You know, we don't replace folks who are leaving or retiring. And we were able to, like I said, gain 7% decrease in the operating budget, 2%, one of the first ever. I don't know.
Without negatively impacting services.
Without negatively impacting services. But here's where I think we made our mistake. And maybe in retrospect it's a mistake, but at the time it seemed like the thing to do. We started talking about the medium-term issues that we needed to get to. And the major medium-term issue was personnel costs. 83% of our budget goes to paying personnel costs, salaries, retirement, benefits, et cetera, et cetera. And we knew, the KPEG realized and published it in the report, that we had to start standing up to the tough issues, and they were going to be tough. Let's face it, personnel, you know, people's lives and livelihoods are very sensitive things. And but I'm sorry, when you're paying your recreation center director almost $100,000 a year before benefits for a 2.4 square mile town, those things are out of control.
Can you repeat that? You just said 83% of your budget.
83% of our budget goes for personnel.
So only 17% of your budget of the taxes that come in go for roads.
The operating budget. Yeah. Well,
that's the biggest cost any business has is the employees, though.
Yeah.
Palm Bay's right. It sounds though that you're just, the city's there for employees. I mean, it is.
Well, let me tell you, when we were just no-mind citizens standing up and you know, and going to council meetings. We had council members sit up there and tell us, hey, I got elected to take care of the citizens. Or, I'm sorry, I got elected to take care of the employees of this city. And we looked at them and we go, what? You got elected by the citizens of this city. You should be up there fiduciarily. You are up there to take care of the citizens, not the employees. You know? So, not that the employees are bad folks. There's a lot of great employees there. But you can't be a jobs program. And in my estimation, that's what we have become, and that's what we are. It's a jobs program.
The cost of employees is broken down not only by salary, right, but also their medical benefits, of course, medical, dental, vision. But the other part of that is their fringe benefits in the way of paid vacation, sick leave, you know, and things like that. The city employees were allowed to accrue sick leave at a much higher rate than standard industry practice, and they were allowed to sell back their sick leave, all right, which is completely against most every industry practice there is. In other words, you either use or lose your sick leave. And they were allowed to accrue like a half a year's worth of sick leave, and then they had other little programs that allowed them to trade their sick leave in for annual leave, right, which you're essentially paid for upon the termination of your employment, retirement, departure, whatever. So they had turned their entire fringe benefits program into almost a self-licking ice cream cone, and they were smiling all the way to the bank with that one.